My name is Brandy Hofer. I'm your host. Thank you so much for being here today. I sure do appreciate just a little bit of your time. I have some really exciting news, and I kind of dropped some hints earlier, I know, in some other podcasts. I don't know if I ever revealed the secret, but I think I sang like a song, made you guess. That sounds like me. I didn't want to say anything until everything was booked, and of course life happens, so hopefully it happens, but I am going to New York. I've been to New York as a student, and we toured every museum and gallery that we could. But this time I've been invited by PXP Contemporary Gallery as part of the Affordable Art Fair in September. So the busiest time ever, of course. I got invited to do something freaking major, and I had to say yes. So, I'm really, really grateful and excited for this opportunity, and so thankful to PXP Contemporary Gallery for this opportunity. We have 3 pieces going from our Taylor collection, which opened in the spring. So yeah, and I'm going to, and I'm staying in Chelsea, yeah, by the Metropolitan, Pavilion, whatever it's called, in New York. And it will be really fun. I get to finally meet some of the women and amazing creatives that I've been talking to for like years and working with, and now I get to meet them in person. It's so scary because I've been like sitting behind a computer screen and or in front of this podcast mic for so long. It's hard to and then of course being in with my children in my home for so long, it's scary being ripped away and going really far. But it's an amazing opportunity, and I can't freaking wait. So I'll talk about it more soon. But I want to talk about the podcast today. We have Carmen Mardonez on. And speaking of taking really brave leaps, she moved all the way from Chile to LA in pursuing her passion and shifting from one career to being a full-time artist. And not only did she take that brave leap, but she did so in the throes of becoming a new mother and moving to a new country. And so laying down roots and then getting through trying times. And we talk about our day-to-day life and all of that. And you can find Carmen actually in her really cool process, her artwork. I've never seen anything like it. And so it's a really time-consuming process. So find her at Desperado on Instagram, DESBORADO, because she'll be like playing checkers with her son / embroidering these giant installation sort of pieces, and they're so freaking cool. And I love chatting with her, and I always love watching what she's up to. So check that out and enjoy. Welcome, Carmen. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's such a treat to sit down with other creative mothers, and someone who sees what you do and sees it's the beauty in it, but also there are a few struggles.
Yes, a few.
Yeah, some hardships. I think it's all about balance, but I think what the best thing is to do is try to shift your perspective and find gratitude wherever you can, of course. How lucky are we able to include or have this passionate career and gift and share that with our children. Yeah. That's the cool part. Not all kids have that in their homes. And in fact, I talked about that with someone this morning. Was clearly my face is all red at my appointment, my microneedling. We were talking about just that. She's like, oh, that must be great for your kids to have that space. And it is, but now they don't think it's that cool because they live with me. So yeah, it's that whole thing where they're like, meh.
Yeah, it is like real life for them, like
Yeah.
daily routines.
So what? We can pour paint everywhere whenever we want. Doesn't everyone do that?
Yeah. Yeah. The
So
same thing here with my son.
Yeah. And how old is your son?
Is 4.5 years old.
What an age.
Yeah. Oof.
Is he passionate and is he like, you know?
Yeah. He's really passionate, and we actually,
Spirited.
yeah, we were discussing last night because I'm working in this piece behind me, and so he asked me for a needle because he wanted to help. So I allowed him, but I said that he has to follow my palette, so he can pick the colors that he wants because it's my piece and he's being my assistant. And he was like, "Hey, I'm an artist too." And I was like, "Yeah, but this is my piece, so you are an assistant here." And he was like so disappointed to have to be the assistant and not the artist. Like, you are surrounded by hoops and fabrics that you can embroider by yourself. So go and pick one of those if you want
Well,
to.
Mom, yours looks good. Let me just add some black and blue and green, and it needs a little something else, right?
Yeah, so he's like super proud to be my assistant, but sometimes he's like annoyed because that.
Yeah, you have to find like some like common creative ground and where it like fits.
Yeah.
I actually cannot. So I have this piece here behind me, and if you see the wall beside it, I can't believe that has not entered into that. Like
Exactly.
that has never happened. I don't know. I never said don't touch that or don't do it. They just like noticed that I was got the feeling that I was like creating something for myself. Like they did help with the backdrop, like underpainting.
Yeah.
But like, cause I love the magic accidents kind of, and like I love that flow because they combine colors that I would never combine. Like,
yeah.
Ever. Like, let's pour some red, but also green, but also brown and yellow. And like, it's just like these weird colors that are like amazing because no working artist would ever combine these colors if they were thinking about it, right?
Actually, it happens to me here too because I prepare my threads before. Like I use like sewing machine threads, but before because it's too thin, so I like mix the colors before. So sometimes it's like just one color, but like thicker. But others time I mix the colors, so I can prepare like different, like.
Oh wow!
This one has like pink, light purple, dark purple. So
it's like a surprise when it all comes together, and or if you get really close.
Yeah, exactly, and it's allowed me to have like those colors transition like more smoothly, but. So Juan can also like mix colors when I'm mixing. So he can like pick red, green, yellow, and make his own colors. So yeah, and it's really fun to see that. Like, what it ends happening.
It's like there's no fear. It's uninhibited expression.
Yeah.
And that's kind of beaten out of us, right? Like, did you go through like formal education, like just like elementary school, high school? Yeah. Well, most of us do, unless I guess your parents were rolling in dough and sent you to some fancy whatever.
Yeah.
that never happened to me. Yeah. So that environment, like for our children, it's just like there and set up and like always an option for people to express themselves. And I think coming out of like a standard education, it's like you have to work to create or make the conscious decision to connect to that part of yourself again. And unfortunately, I think it doesn't happen for most people unless they're, of course, like, I'm an artist and I love this and I want a career, or they're like retired and they're like, I've loved painting my whole life and now I'm 65 and I'm going to paint. Like, it's really sad.
Yeah.
Is your son in school?
He's at preschool. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to it's like I don't know. it's not that day. Yeah, it's like preschool daycare or something like that. I mean, it's not
Pretty much daycare, preschool.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, but the place is amazing. So they play
Oh.
outside the whole day. They have tables where they can like experiment with colors or whatever.
Mm.
It has a lot of fun, and it's
Oh,
not
so it's like a nature, like they like are really focused on outdoor time.
I mean, yeah, before COVID, they used to do a lot of the activities outside, but now with COVID, they are doing most of them like outside, even when it's raining. And
Oh,
so
amazing.
it's having like best time in life.
Yeah. I love when, you know, and I don't know about you, but I love having like really active young boys because I would never go outside this much. Like I wouldn't be like, okay, let's head out for 3 hours and see what we can find.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love that because it really is like food for the soul, and it is the best thing ever for you. You sleep better, you're in a better mood, you're healthier, like all over.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the greater gifts that kind of came out of COVID was like the shift in, you know, how people want to learn and not waste time anymore just doing the thing that we're always expected to do and not question it.
Yeah.
But I was at a meeting yesterday with our public school system because we're starting an art academy.
Oh yeah, I know about that. Sounds
like crazy. I never thought my life would lead here, but it did, and I'm so excited and grateful. And he's like, yeah, a lot of like the learning we're shifting to outside, and I just think I remember because I live by the school, so we walk around, and they were having band practice outside, and it was just like so distracting for the kids. And then Teddy rolled through the middle of the band practice on his bike.
Oh no!
Sorry. And like the teacher was like keeping like a solid. I was like, how is he not laughing right now? Like
That's
some kid just like blasted through your band practice.
Yeah.
He's probably like, oh, this is the worst idea of all time.
Yeah. Which case is this? And did you already start with the academy? Like
no, so we're just in the stages of like I just toured the facilities yesterday for the first time. It's an exciting step to like physically visualize, you know, where the kids are going to enter and how we're going to use the space to create and which is the best space for that. So, and of course, my plan is to be outside as much as possible, but it's minus like 37 in the wind chill today. That's Celsius. So we can't be outside.
Yeah, you can't.
No. I had my running gear on this morning, and then I saw the direction of the wind and the snow blowing like vertically. I was like, oh, I think I'll bike inside today.
Yeah.
If you're looking for some time for yourself to relax, release, and unwind, Oasis has the perfect space for you. They offer yoga and spin classes of all levels. Whether you are a beginner or advanced student, Oasis thrives on accommodating all aspects of the practice. Let their serene environment and gracious staff help you in your journey of peace, healing, and strength. Sign up online at www.oasishotyogastudio.com or by downloading the Oasis Hot Yoga Studio app. Feel like yourself. You deserve it.
So you one whole year to organize everything.
Yeah. I met with them last spring, 2021, and they were just like, we heard what you said to so-and-so, and we agree. We think our school system needs an art academy. So it literally started with them booking a custom artwork through, because I do a lot of custom artwork. And so the school system wanted this like piece for retirees. And so I made this, and a teacher who teaches there, we were talking about in the neighborhood that afternoon about how they have a hockey academy, and then they're starting this next academy. And I was like, why don't they have an art academy? Like, if you think about life and how applicable creativity is in the, like, if we're talking about job market, etc., like,
Yeah.
those skills are valued. But then you go on to, like, how important is creativity in it develops emotional intelligence, and like it's so far beyond. So I had this conversation. So then I told the woman who picked up the artwork how important art was to children and that they should have an art academy. And she's like, you're right, that we should have an art academy. I was like, yes, you go ahead and do that. Go get that going. And then the next thing you know, the head person was like, Brandy, I'd like to set up a meeting with you about starting the art academy. What?
That's
the heck just happened?
And you are in charge because it was
just let's get you going. And there were so many hurdles for me with like being a teacher or anything, because I never quite fit into that system. Like we talked about the system of education and the structures and with which that works, or and this is somehow I found my way through talking and whatever led to this point. I'm really excited to be that person who inspires someone to go on and like choose to be an artist or integrate it into their life. Long story, very short. It's happening, and it's like sometimes you just have to embrace like what the universe is telling you.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
And I won't be giving up my practice. It's 2 days a week to, get this going. And so I think it'll be a beautiful balance, and more important than just me and my personal practice, this is like directly affecting my community. Yeah. So I'm really honored.
Your kids are going to the same school?
Yeah. Even so, I'll literally get to walk home with them.
Yeah.
So it fits into my life beautifully. But I talk a lot. I want to talk about you because I really admire your work, and just like you're so unique, and it also shows in your process too. Like I've never seen work like yours. Would it be classified as like fiber art? Like where did it start, and like what kind of materials, and how did it did they were they smaller and they just like expanded, or did you always work large? Like I have a lot of questions. Talk about it.
Sure, I can start and then just interrupt me and ask more questions if you have. So I'm from Chile. I moved to Los Angeles like 4 years ago when Juan was 1 month old. So it was hard. But before we moved to Los Angeles, we live in Chile, and I was working in public politics. I studied history and had a master in community psychology. So I was working in those kind of fields. And I started embroidery again because I learned when I was a kid. I restart embroidery when I was writing my master thesis because I was like overwhelmed, like too much brain. So I started again like embroidering. And they were like big size, not as big as these ones, but 1 meter per 1 meter or something like that, like big enough.
That's big. Yeah.
So when my partner was accepted at UCLA for a PhD, and we realized at the same time that I was pregnant. Everything together, perfect timing. The baby was for the end of August, and Pablo has to be in Los Angeles the 3rd week of September. So it was like everything happening at the same time. And my plan before I knew that I was pregnant was to keep working in public politics, and of course learning more English. And when I realized that I was pregnant, so probably not be able to work in the same field that's in Chile, because I didn't want to have my kid the whole day at the daycare. One, because I didn't want to, but second, because we didn't have the budget, and here we don't have family. So it was like a lot like in my shoulders. So I decided to become an artist. Like that was I was embroidering in Chile, but just as a hobby, but I really like it. So I decided to get a chance to see if it works like in the art world. So I moved here with my threads and my baby, and I've been embroidering the last 4.5 years here. When I moved here at the beginning, I was like embroidering in a small size, like more like the traditional size, because I always have like one in my arms, or like with the ergo baby or whatever. So it was easy to have like a small canvas. But when he started growing, so and start like crawling or walking, I think that it was harder to keep the size, because he always he was like touching and he was like pulling the thread. So then is when I decided to get back to a big canvas and a really freestyle stitches. So if he pulled the threads, that of course happening a lot, nothing really happens. So
it's just part of it.
Exactly. So my creative process is really related with his like
your life, your environment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Like, yeah. So your whole life, like, kind of got like
yeah.
You know, it just it's hard to put words, but like, you would never be a full-time artist had you not, you know, been pregnant. And I don't want to say sidetracked, because it's not a sidetrack. Like, it shifted your whole entire being, and you know, how you identified yourself, and what you decided ultimately was important to you.
Yeah. It was like a lot of decisions and new beginnings starting at the same time, because I mean, like, have a baby is a lot, become an artist is also a lot, but do it both of those like in a country that is not yours, when you don't really, I mean, like, it's not your language. So even if you can communicate, it's not the same, like, because I used to feel and to talk in Spanish. Now I can speak in English, but I keep feeling, and you know, like,
you still think in Spanish?
Yeah.
All the way, yeah. So did you speak any English before you moved?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a little bit, but I forced myself to talk here and like to watch all the movies in English and blah blah blah. But it was like a lot of change and challenge at the same time. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's been quite a ride.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like you could literally survive anything?
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, like, I think that with COVID and everything, like, mental health is being a big thing. And I started like therapy and everything last year, because even though I love what I'm doing right now, like, of course there are some things that you need to like smooth a little bit to make the whole puzzle, especially when you are raising a kid, like
it can be lonely. It can be lonely in aspects.
Yeah.
That's why, like, finding community is just so important. And not only just like any old community, but a community that you connect with.
Exactly.
Where others lift you up, or if you are feeling down, they put a hand out to, you know, support you or bring you back up. Right? Like, and I'm just here for you can be the most powerful sentence, right? For whatever it is you need. And I think that you're an art queen, correct?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. I really love, I feel like my podcast should be called Join the Art Queens.
Yeah. No, I think for me, like, because I'm an art queen now. I'm in the mother artist group, and also I have my art night lady. So I'm like, through Instagram, I'm making like a lot of friends and a lot of community, and it's been like so important for me these past years, like.
And these kind of communities have only existed for a few years.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We're really lucky, because I remember just being a young female creative and just feeling so lost. Like there was no example of a female successful doing this. Like also that goes along with like how social media has expanded our exposure to that. Like when I was in university, there was no Facebook, so like you're kind of, it was a time where you're just learning and growing, and finally it's amazing what you can accomplish with just finding where you fit.
No, and I think that especially if you are creating at home, what is my case, and I think yours too, like it's more lonely because it's different if you go to a place who a lot of artists had their studio, so you can like, I don't know, talk a little bit or whatever. But if you're at home, it's like you and your practice and your kids, and
it takes a lot of, and I don't want to say discipline like a bad word, but it takes a lot of consistency and like boundaries and routine. Finding your rhythm and routine, and not being angry if you get knocked out of it, because that doesn't help anybody, and it can easily happen. Like you're in the middle of something and you want to finish it, but the baby's up, or your child needs to connect with you in some way because they've been doing something else and now they want to hang out with you. You have to like shift, or that's over and now I have to clean up everything and make supper because it's 4 o'clock. Or like it takes a lot of self-awareness, and I think what goes along with that is self-care. And in order to take care of others, you have to best take care of yourself. And like you said, you started therapy, so like you consciously made the effort to reach out and be aware that you needed some more support. Is there anything else that you do for self-care, like a routine in the day, or like what do you love to do besides creating?
I think that for me, creating is part of my self-care, like honestly. But I decided to start like doing more sport this year. I was like really, because my pieces are like really big, like I using the whole body for that. But if I'm not training, like, and I don't know, like getting warm and everything, like I was so much in pain the last year, like my shoulders, my arm, my butt, I don't know, everything. So I decided I'd take care of the this year. So I'm like waking up earlier and do like some exercise before Juan is awake. And also as a family, we try to go to the beach every week.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like cloudy or it's one of the amazing things of Los Angeles. So we wake up and we go to the beach with our breakfast and we stay there until lunch, or we ate lunch there. So it's like for one day, usually Sundays, we feel like we are on vacations, like disconnected and enjoying the beach. So that's being like really, really important for us to like cut or routines, especially because I'm working at home, but my partner is doing a PhD, so he's like, and because COVID, he's also working at home, and PhD used to not have like free time. Like it's a really bad. They work like the whole day, the 7 days, and usually Pablo doesn't do that, but the university expect that for him. So
it's really intense.
Disconnected ourselves, going to the beach is really, really important for us.
And just like connecting again in a different environment, in a different way. And I think we've been inside all week because of the weather, and it really does you get all kind of like, why are we all fighting? Like it's just because we've been stuck inside and not getting that connection to ourselves and fresh air and burning your energy. Like you just need to move your body. I know I have to, like mentally, it's not about like the bonus is the physicality of being in shape, but why I work out 35 minutes probably every morning. First thing I put on that outfit, and I do it right away because I know if I don't, my mood is like almost depressed.
Yes.
So I learned that when I was 14, and I've pretty much been working out every morning since I was 14.
Yeah. I used to do that, and yeah.
Yeah, it's just like there's no like, no, I don't think you should go. I need your help. I'm like, bye.
See, yeah, exactly.
I'm running. I'll be right back. And you can pack your runners anywhere you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool. And but I also, so I for the first time in 2.5 years, I'm going away for 2 nights.
Oh
My
wow!
husband's like, no, you're not. I'm like, I am. I'm best man at a wedding, and I am going away. And he's like, it's so hard. I'm like, I know, I feel for you. However, you leave this house every day for like 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
I know it's work. It's like categorized as work for here, but you're not here, and I am. And I need to go for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so it'll be, I'm going with my sister, so it's just like, it's going to be, and not with my kids. So I love them, but I need some time.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
Away. Everyone needs space.
Yeah.
I think too, as creative, like, you know, valuing that independent time. Do you work in the evenings?
Usually I work the whole day.
The whole day. Oh, wow.
He's at school now, so I'm working, and then he's gonna come back for lunch. We are gonna lunch together, and after that I'm gonna try to keep working while playing with him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking and playing and embroidering. So yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
How many hours I work. Sometimes it's like 4, but I think that other days it's like maybe 6-8 hours.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's really physical.
Yeah, it is
for you. That's intense.
It is.
And you know, the way your day sounds is kind of how mine used to work, but it's because one baby was sleeping and one baby was home with me, and now they've got each other, so they don't really care about me as much.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Well, yeah. But they have a tendency to destruct or destroy whatever it is space they're in, like hard. Like pouring bowls of maple syrup for themselves. That's such a I sound like such a Canadian. They were pouring bowls of maple syrup around. It's true though. Like, or sometimes I'll find my son and he like got the icing sugar. I was like, how desperate are you for sugar that you went into the icing sugar, poured yourself a bowl, and you're eating it with your hands? Oh, they're so funny. Like, not a day goes by that is boring.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. Are you guys thinking of having any more?
I don't think so.
You're good.
I mean, I grew up in a big family. I'm the oldest of 9.
Oh, so you have had your fair share of parenting then, really?
Yes. Like, and my youngest are 13, so my parents are still raising kids.
Yeah.
So I love big families. I love I know that it would be great to want to have siblings, but at the same time, being far away by ourselves is not like a mental health thing, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be challenging.
I take care of myself.
Yeah. So, well, he'll have aunts and uncles that he can play with. He doesn't need siblings. Yeah, that must be a challenge being so far away from home.
Yeah, it is. It is hard. I mean, like, I don't think that people usually think about that, but when you are going to enroll your kid at daycare or school, they ask you for the contact numbers if something happened to you or your kid, and it's like, let me ask someone to be like my emergency contact. Like, how stupid is that? Or if I'm feeling bad or I'm sick and Pablo is sick, like, we have to take care of the kid, like, no matter what. Like, there's no stop in our life, like, no, like, a free
it's like you have to make very good friends that are your family. That's like the option for that. And with COVID-19, that's a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, exactly. And because we are in the university village, so we have amazing friends, but then they leave because they finish their program. So it is like waves of friends that you made, and then they go away, and you have friends like everywhere. But again, you have to make new friends for new like emergency contacts.
Oh no. Yeah. No, it really does take a village to raise a family. And you know, it's just, you know, if you're not going through it without it, you just don't know. Like and you have to be gracious when you know, you have a grandparent or whatever that can come help if you are ill, or well, actually not anymore. If you're ill, you're all closed off together.
Yeah. I didn't be an artist in Chile, so it's like start again.
Yeah,
like,
that's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You're probably gonna stay. Sounds like most possibly will stay, and that's okay. And you know, if you do like move into a home somewhere, and you know, you find that sense of community, and like that can be just, you know, your new way of you started a life there.
Well, also COVID is changing everything, because before COVID, even though we were like away from Chile, like 11 hours flight, it was like you can go like in for an emergency, like buy the ticket and fly there. But now it's much harder. Like not I mean, like you have to do the test, and if the like COVID numbers and everything. So being that far is, I mean, it's further than before COVID. So that's also like a thing to
I know my friend Kim, he's my videographer, but we're also very good family friends. He and his wife immigrated from the Philippines, and I was like, why did you choose here? Like, that's, you know, it's very polar opposite of where you are. And he said, the opportunity of where we live is, it like, basically it looks good on paper. He's like, our country was like not safe. It was not safe to stay. It was not safe to raise a family. It was like, you know, there's so much to start, and we don't care that it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't overpower the fact that, you know, we can be safe and we can raise our family and put our roots down somewhere else. Yes, our family is not there, but this outweighs that. And at the end of the day, that's just, you know, that's your family and your safety and your dreams and your passions and what you're pursuing is part of that happiness too. So like there are some sacrifices, and it sounds like, you know, some big ones, but some outweighed the others for you. And he was right. He successfully has started a whole niche in business that didn't even exist here before.
Oh wow.
So, you know, like it hasn't been easy, and he's working on this huge docu-series, but like there's community support, and everyone loves him, and everyone's proud of him, and it's pretty cool and inspiring to see that happening to my friend. Like, you know, he was passionate about something and believed in it so much, maybe other people didn't see it.
Yeah.
But they see it now. I'll tell you. Cool. He is just running his butt off.
Yeah.
You know? And they're opening a new studio, and they got funding, and like it's crazy. It's just so great. And it can happen. It's not easy, but like look, like you totally shifted your whole career, and now you're an established artist working creatively in LA, and that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, not easy.
Not easy, but it's cool. Yeah,
but pretty fucking cool. Yeah. Not everyone can say like, yes, I am doing this as my career, and not to say, again, it doesn't come with challenges, but it takes a lot of bravery. Yeah. And like, it's not like that was your only option, right? You chose this.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you chose kind of in the throes of motherhood.
Oh, so many times when I was living in Chile, I like hear or watch a movie or whatever about like great women who did like what they want, and they like realized themselves, and it was really difficult or whatever, challenging, but they did it. And I was like, oh, maybe not on purpose, but I think that I never thought that I will be able to do what I'm doing now, like showing my art, like earning some grants, having art residencies where to work, like and raising a kid at the same time with my partner, by yourself. So it's being a challenge, but I mean, I know that we have to be proud about what we are doing. Like not everyone will maybe do the same. Like
no, it's pretty beautiful, and I just applaud you for following your dreams. I know when you see it in a movie, you're like, they make that look so easy.
Yeah,
I'm just la-di-da in my studio. Look how pretty this is, and then magically it just pops onto the wall. And then this collector walks up, and they're like, "Oh yes, I will give you $30,000. Okay, bye, thank you."
Yeah, exactly.
Just like that. Just like that. That's how it happens.
I wish it were that easy. But it's been amazing.
Yeah, no, it is. And I love your process, and again, how unique it is. And it just, I think it says something about your personality. And it's been such a pleasure to meet with you and get to know you better. I think it takes a lot of bravery, first of all, to decide that I'm going to pursue my creative career when society has told me that isn't a thing, basically.
Especially if you are a woman and a mom.
Yeah, like you don't fit here. Goodbye.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's so many of us, we're like, actually, hi, we do. So move out of the fucking way.
Yes, exactly.
We're just not going to take no for an answer. Yeah. And that's my son. Your butt is done. No, it's not. You need to go try again. And that's a perfect wrap up.
Yeah. Super quiet there.
Yeah, Teddy's napping. I would never be able to do any of this unless he was sleeping.
Yeah.
He's 2. So it's like 2-year-olds are another level of fun.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
I remember
that. Yeah. So no, he's napping, and Finn usually has quiet time, and he's pretty independent when it comes to quiet time. So like Gus used to be in here with me.
Yeah.
Creating stuff. That's how we did that 44-piece series. Gus was 2 to 3. We made a 44-piece series together. So he was just really into it, and Finn was just born and sleeping. So yeah, that looks good now.
Okay, gang. Thank you so much, friends, for joining us today. It was so beautiful to have you. And on that note, I would like to hear more from you. You are welcome to join our Color Me Happy community and share or comment or just join and observe. We will hold space for you to be a part of it. Or you can join the sketchbook project, which has blown up so big, way bigger than I expected. And it's been really cool to see tiny artists and professional artists and everyone under the sun just connect to their creativity. I also have some big news. My book, I finished the audio. Yay! So the next steps are crazy challenging with Amazon, etc. And of course, everything's going to head to layout and editing and uploading and all that fun stuff. The fun stuff you don't think about very much when you decide to write a book. But it's been pretty cool. It's a learning curve. And of course, when you decide to do anything you haven't done before, it's scary and harder than you think it's going to be. But I know that it is more important than that, because it's going to touch some people's lives, and I hope it can help others. And it was so therapeutic for myself, and it got me through some really challenging times in my own life. It's called Color Me Happy. See Your Everyday Ordinary is Extraordinary. And it's kind of a little bit like the podcast, but more organized. Thoughts more organized. Yeah. Oh, my editor's so funny. She's like, I Googled how Canadians speak and spell, and I just couldn't figure it out. So cool. I'll keep you posted on that soon. Thank you to our sponsors, Red Bicycle Communications, as well as Nouveau Laser and Aesthetic Center. We'll talk to you all soon, friends, and thank you again for your time.